Tyler didn't prep me at all for the subject of this video. He just told me he had something to show me.
I got something to show you, and this time, I swear it's not my dick. Did you hear in October 2024, there was a story that broke, maybe September, October. RFK was cheating on his wife, Cheryl Hines, who he's still with.
No, I hadn't heard about that.
No one heard about it yet. Never really made some big waves. Well, the reason why is because the person he was cheating on his wife with was a reporter for New York Magazine. New York Magazine is supposed to be media that's like above that, above the partisan fray, reporting the facts and the real news. And we're going to learn about some high-up reporters in there. So Olivia Nuzzi. Olivia Nuzzi attended college in Long Island University, beginning an unusual relationship with Keith Olbermann, allegedly. He allegedly paid her tuition, bought her designer clothes, bought her expensive jewelry, ranging for about $15,000, and there was a sugar daddy dynamic reported. There was never anything that they were formally dating, but she was living with him right after she turned 18, I guess, is what the story's saying. Very young age, college student living with a rich, kind of creepy old man, and he was buying her expensive things. So that's her start. She then jumps into the Anthony Weiner campaign, where she worked for Anthony Weiner, and then her claim to fame was she put out some big scathing review after his campaign collapsed, talking about how it was always inevitable it was going to collapse, blah, blah, blah. He's kind of not a great guy, kind of not a great politician. Anthony Weiner had a spokesperson, or somebody came out, who was it? She later wrote critical of the chaos of the campaign. An aide working for the campaign called her a giant whore bag.
Hi, Sadie here. Just an editor's note. She was actually called a slut bag.
And it was alluded that she was maybe, blowing wiener. But no one ever really had any confirmation of it. So we have allegations of being a sugar baby for Keith Olbermann, getting your entire school paid for, a bunch of expensive jewelry, blah, blah, blah. And that's your in. Then you get into the Weiner campaign, which is a rising political star running for mayor of New York City. It's allegations of her sleeping her way to the top. So we're going to switch over to Ryan Lizza, the other gentleman, the one that wrote the piece on his Substack this week that started all this. He is fired from the New Yorker over sexual misconduct allegations. He said it was all made up. It was a respectful relationship. So yeah, he was fired from the New Yorker, fired from CNN. They start dating in 2018. They're like a power couple. He's working for the New Yorker. She's working for Politico. He had just recently been laid off. I don't think he'd been fired yet. They was like, look at these two journalists working for these high-end real news outlets. Like, these are rising stars, and these are the people we should trust and listen to. And in their personal life, they're out, committing sexual assault and being just kind of promiscuous degenerates. In 2019, Nuzzi was covering Mark Sanford, a former South Carolina governor. Now, this governor had to step down from politics in 2009 because he had an extramarital affair with an Argentinian woman. So he was trying to get back into politics. In 2018, he lost a congressional bid, but he was considering running for president in 2020. Well, it turns out while he was running for president in 2020, he had an affair again with Nuzzi, who was covering him. The same woman that was Keith Olbermann's sugar baby and had allegations of being a whore to get into the Weiner campaign. She was also fucking this guy while she was with the other dude, Lizza, who had an idea of it because he found the notes. He wrote about it in his Substack. So a couple of years go by. We don't hear much from them. This is all still in the background. Nobody knows that she'd fucked this guy, and then he dropped his 2020 campaign bid. She starts covering RFK. And she's covering him for New York Magazine, doing all the things. And it's discovered there's nude photos texted between them. I don't think they ever had a physical meeting, but they were planning on meeting up. He wrote poems, explicit poems discussing impregnating her and things of that nature. That's kind of the big scandal. Yeah. I'd like to get my hands on
poems.
Let's take a look, and that's a good question.
Can we read some of these poems? I'm sure the
audience
would love to hear these.
I'd like to try to find one real quick. Hold on.
Your open mouth awaiting my harvest. I mean, to squeeze your cheeks, to force open your mouth. I'll hold your nose as you look up at me to encourage you to swallow. Don't spill a drop. I am a river. You are my canyon. I mean to flow through you. I mean to subdue and tame you. My love.
That's my health minister.
Hell yeah. He's going to hold her nose and force her to swallow.
That's wild.
Yeah. I want to find the full poem and read through it, but it's looking like it's not fully published. He only published parts of it.
Who published it?
The boyfriend,
Wait, but he's still the boyfriend? He didn't break up
Lizza.
with her?
No, they broke up a few months ago, and this
Bro.
is like the public fallout.
If I caught my woman getting sex poems from our health secretary,
Your open mouth awaiting my harvest.
my harvest is crazy.
Drink from me, love. I mean to squeeze your cheeks to force open your mouth.
He said, I'm the river and you are my canyon.
Yep.
That's kind of a bar, actually.
Don't spill a drop. I'm looking for the plug nose. That was the best part. Okay, so anywho, that was from the scandal. Well, Lizza, according to Nuzzi, actually leaked this information to her job at the New Yorker to get her fired. So he discovered the evidence in mid-August. In September, she was laid off pending an investigation. And in October, she filed a protective order against him for blackmail, saying that he was blackmailing her with this cheating information. Doesn't really say exactly for what. He resigned from Politico in 2025. But it wasn't apparently like he was forced out because of this. But his reason for resigning from Politico was that they were not anti-Trump enough.
Wasn't Politico like the fact-checking group? They had to be anti-Trump. Weren't they supposed to be like, we're the neutral arbiters of who's lying? For Pinocchios.
Yep, that's if we can go into some of Politico's big old fuck-ups during the Trump administration that are always in one direction, and they always make Trump look bad, and the correction's always much less impactful than the initial story was. But that being said, this journalist said that Politico was groveling to the Trump administration and resigned. Even before his Me Too moment, him, Keith Olbermann, this woman, they were all coming out and attacking Trump. The Access Hollywood tape, when that came out, they were excoriating Trump, saying all of his excuses were bullshit. All of the allegations were mounting against him, blah, blah, blah. And it turns out this dude ends up getting fired for Me Too like a year and a half later because he was actually the one going out and doing all these vile things. And his wife was also super anti-Trump, constantly covering left-wingers with puff pieces and right-wingers as evil, out fucking banging everybody she wanted to and damaging her journalistic integrity. And these are the people we're supposed to be trusting. But yeah, so now they've broken up publicly. Apparently he tried to blackmail her and she has a protective order against him. He's writing all these fucking pieces, just excoriating her in the media. And it's being covered, but it's not like being covered at this high level. Like you're hearing about Trump every day on the news. You're not hearing about the friends of the journalist just completely airing out their dirty laundry against each other and exposing that like these people have been corrupt, degenerate liars while telling you need to trust them that Trump's a corrupt, degenerate liar. It's the same shit. It's destiny where it's like we can cover this guy and say he's as bad as we are because we're projecting our worldview, but don't judge us because we're just this. So it's good enough for you to listen to me, but it's not good enough for you to listen to him. You don't distrust and hate the media enough. They basically threw this woman around as like a sex doll within the media. She started with Keith Olbermann, went to Anthony Weiner. Between Democrat politics and media outlets that are friendly to the Democrats, she just bounced from dick to dick to dick to dick until she climbed her way all the way up to the top and then used that position to even get more dicks from famous people.
That's the Kamala strategy.
Yeah,
Kamala showed it works, and now the other women will follow suit.
Yeah, I was thinking more like Greatest Ninja Warrior or whatever the fuck, where they got to go through the obstacle course. Hers was like a wall climbing where it was just dicks, and she could only hop on each one on her way up the hill, and she just successfully mounted all the way to the top. So they said that this poem was about impregnating her, but I don't see it. It's not. That's a lie.
Why would you even risk, like, why would you write this kind of poetry if you were a public figure? Like, because here's the thing, if someone in our Discord, just a random one of our Discord members had written this, nobody would give a fuck. It's just so funny that somebody from the fucking administration is messing around like that. That is insane.
RFK is a lover, man. The only thing that he harms are corpses of animals.
Put up a picture of her again, and I want our commenters to put just a number 1 to 10 in chat. Just what do you guys think she's hot?
Enjoy that visual, and that's all I got for you today.